Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dutch Racing Competition. I'm your host, I'm Kassa, and we are coming to you live from Baku. It is the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and there on screen you can see tyre strategies in play today. Those soft tyres are going to disintegrate like no tomorrow out there. I think we might see a few people go for it, but they're really going to be starting to struggle. It says lap 8, I think they might start struggling before that, especially if they're qualified on them. But we'll see how they go. There is the track circuit, 20 turns, 6 kilometers long, one of the longest straights on the entire calendar, and what a straight it is. 2 DRS sections, but one of those is, I say, on the longest straight we have there. And it's going to create a lot of issues here, and we'll see how we get on today. We're on board then with Livid on this hot lap as we come up this huge straight. DRS wide open, hitting top speeds of around 220 miles an hour, throwing it into turn 1, hoping you still have a bit of grip after that long straight. Nice and easily through there, up towards turn 2, and this is where the second DRS straight is. Detection point for this is just before the corner, and then it is power down. And this is where we're going to see a few more overtakes. If you haven't taken them on the home straight, you'll take them on this straight right here, and into turn 3 we go. See quite a few people make mistakes into turn 3. I think they just get caught out by the length of the straight. Then into turn 4, a little squirt key, get it back over to the right as you go towards the chicane of 5, 6, into sector 1 just there. And easy one to cut there if you make a little mistake, but he's cleanly through that up towards turn 7. Again, very easy one to cut because there's not a real curve on the inside. But if you take it slightly wrong, then you can quite easily pick up a penalty. Into the castle section, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. There we go, beautiful castle section. That is going to create some issues later today, and hopefully no one's going to crash in that section. Through what I call mini ping pong, 13, 14, and into 15. See a lot of people taking that line through that corner. If you can pull it off, it's great. If you make a mistake, your wing's gone. Into the sector 2 into 16, and then we go through what is known as ping pong. It is just flowing corners. You make one mistake, you're in that wall. DRS detection point coming up on there, and then we're going to get that DRS open around there. So such a huge straight. Pit entry is a bit difficult as well. If you're going 200 miles an hour, you've got to judge the brake into perfection. Small mistake and you can find yourself bouncing off that wall. But let's have a look quickly at the standings. You can hear the beepers in the background. That means we're about to start the race. Quickly then, Meister is your current championship leader on 56. Jorn on 48, Julian there on 40, Justin on 37, Further up on 29 in the top 5, Fluffy Balls, Busted, Livid, Mute and Kimmy rounding out your top 10. 11th you've got Beaker, followed by Jumboy, Atomic, Dan Vadan, Anthony, Trirayner, not getting any points so far in 16th, follower Char, Gwen, Noosa and Nathan. And there we go, so let's have a quick look at the constructors, and hopefully we're not going to miss too much of the action on track. There is constructors. I've already noticed one small issue. Williams does not have 10 points because Just Chili's got more than that on his own, but it could be a small mistake. We're not going to worry about that. But Ferrari currently leading the race on 71, followed by Renault on 52, Red Bull there on 45. And there we go. So that is that. Let's just quickly throw out the track map briefly before we jump on into the race. You can hear the qualifying just starting in the background. There is the track map. We all know it. We all love it. It is the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Now let's delay no longer. Let it jump straight on in to the race. And here we are. So it's looking good. There's a bit of cloud in the sky. There's no rain. Bit of sun. It's looking like a typical British summer day. Bit of cloud and bit of sun. What could possibly go wrong, eh? Right. I've just been informed that is the constructor standing for tier 2. I will get on to my video editor and have a go at him. Nathan's retired already. I think he might have a qualifying ban if he's going to retire that soon. And we're on board with Atomic as he's one of the first out of the pits. We've also got Dow and Jorn out of the pits. Jorn, I was listening to earlier practice around this. He was having a few issues. Hopefully he's got it sorted for this, but let's see. So the construction standings, as I say, were out. The driver standings was correct. I unfortunately missed last week's race, but I believe Jorn got second place. Mason not quite getting the wins he needed. I think he finished 4th in the end. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, we are now back. We're back with some action, and we're hoping we're going to be back with an awesome race. I do love this track. It's got the elements of a high-speed circuit with the long straights, but the walls are so close. One mistake and you can be just out of it. And that's what it could come down to at the end of the day. It's not who's the fastest, it's who's the cleanest. Yes, you could be the fastest man on track, but you make a handful of mistakes, you lose bits of wing here, there and everywhere, you won't be fast. You'll be struggling to make it around some of these high-paced corners. And that is what we're going to see here today. Dennis retired from session. Yellow in sector 1. Has he already binned it before he's even started? Hopefully not. We'll start aboard then with Atomic, then in the Haas. And let's see what he can do. It's a busy track. Everyone out bar Fluffy. And a couple of people already retired. And Fluffy's still in the pits, but we're getting flying up started. Yawn has started. Atomic is about to start. Dow's just started. And so we've got a mixture of tyres at the moment. We've got a few softs and a few hards. Dennis has left the session already. That's not how you want to start a qualifying session, is it? By leaving the session. That's not his car there, is it? That is his car there. That's why he's retired from the session. He binned it coming out of the pits on turn 2. Not the best way to start a qualifying. Hopefully he'll cool his head, come back and give us a nice show. He'll be starting down the bottom, but at least he can only get better, can't it, if you start 20th. So we'll see what he can do. See if he gets himself back in. Be a shame for him to miss out. And Atomic is coming up to a little bit of traffic then. He's got Yawn just ahead of him. And probably Dow just ahead of that. They're both the Toro Rosso, so just wondering if they're doing a little bit of slipstream tactics for the long straights. Obviously you don't want to be in the dirty area if you're going around fast corners. You just struggle with grip. Yawn's actually backed out, so he's got out of the way. Another yellow in sector 1. Hopefully that's not another car going to that wall at turn 2. But we're starting ball with Atomic as Dennis has checked in saying his brake pedal's not calibrated. That's not how you drive, Yawn. But I mean, you've been listening to Max Thorne, haven't you, on how to drive. He doesn't use brake pedals anyway, he uses cars. But Tommy, they're coming up to the final few corners. Yawn backed out of his laps, so it'll be Dow to take the line first, followed by Atomic. And through he comes through the last official corner, not really a corner there, of turn 20. Up to the line as Yawn's actually giving a Ferrari a little tow. Dow goes fast with 41.16. Atomic beats it with a 40.6 of his own. And Evid even beats that with a 40.4. So the times are starting to come in. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at someone on softs. Meister, championship leader on the softs. Is he gonna smash it? He's languishing slightly to the left. Is he going in the pits? No, he's staying out. And he's going to set an early benchmark then of a 38.4. And we'll see what we can do about that. Beaker's also out on track. Let's have a look at and he's just put it P2 with 38.6. So not too far off the pace back down there. Let's have a look at Jumboy. Ooh, jumping those curbs. That's the curve we're talking about. Turn 15. It's one of those corners that if you hit at the right angle, you can make up a tenth or a little bit more depending on how you feel. If you hit it at the wrong angle, you're hitting the wall and you are making your way back to the pits because that's the end of your qualifying lap. If you do that in the race, you're hitting the wall and making your way back to the pits, and that's probably the end of any hopes you had. Especially if you do it late on when you're trying to push for points. John Boy gets that P9 with a 42.8. And let's have a look further down. Anthony's out on a flying lap then. And no, he's not. He's going in the pits. Look at this pit entry. Yeah, he's gone nice and tame. I've tried to enter this pit so many times, and so often I've hit the walls and crashed. It's quite easy to do. Sharifin, it's started. He's got Colin there. Colin gets out of his way then. And Char goes into turn number 2. And so, few people still on track. We've got all the top runners still on track. Minus Dow, just going to the pits. Just wondering if people are going for a couple of laps on those hards. I don't expect the soft drivers to do more than one lap. They'll probably bring that in. Dow's in. Livid and Dan Vadan have gone again. So they are They've probably done a cool down lap. They're going to set another pacey lap then on the hards. And we'll see how they get on. Char then needs a good result. No points so far this season. He's down in 17th in qualifying, but 2 drivers that won't be taking part. He'll gain one of those places, that's for sure, assuming he can put in a time. And that's what's going to be crucial. If you can just get a time on the board at the stage, he'll guarantee to gain 1 place. And who knows, maybe gain more as people start hitting walls. I've seen some of the best drivers attempting this circuit, and I think he only managed to do 1 flying lap across the entire thing. An entire 18 minutes of qualifying, just kept hitting the walls, and that's how easy it is. You push too hard, you end up hitting those walls, and that's what people are going to have to try and avoid today, particularly in the race, probably even more so in the qualifying. It's going to be a real challenge if you're going to be starting low down to mount a decent charge. You can still end up getting points with people DNFing, as Sharifin puts it P7 with a 40.889, just ahead then of Busted, who did a 40.899. So 1/100th of a second between those two. And he's still running mode 4. Is he going to keep going? It looks like he's going to keep going. Let's have a look back up front. Livid and Dan are both going. Actually, and Livid jumps up to P3. Dan jumps up into the pit lane. Let's have a look. JC, he's come just done Castle, so runs a little wide on the exit at turn 12. Just have a look at those front wings, see if he picks up any damage. So easy to do here. All it takes a little touch of that wall, and that is the end of that lap. And this is that corner there, turn 15, is where you're going to see so many front wings being lost. I think turn 15 and turn 3 are probably the main contenders for front wing damage. Assume you don't make mistakes anywhere around here, which he hasn't. We'll see how they go on. It's definitely not an easy track, but at the same time, if you drive it well, it's really easy. The castle section may look tricky, but as long as you get it at the right angle going through those corners, you'll be fine. Busted jumps up P4 then, so good qualifying lap from him. He's done 3 laps on those hards, so he'll be... he's definitely bringing us back to the pits. He's running red fuel. Kimi Furtherkamp down there in 13th and 14th. They are on flying laps in the Mercedes. And that's a wall, and that's a front wing gone for Kimi. That was a good time to join on him. I apologise, I just want to try and see how much damage he took. Definitely saw front left damage. I want to see if he took front right. Oh, yeah, he took wing damage, that's for sure. There's nothing left on that. He's going to struggle to get this back. You just have to take it cool, calmly and slowly and not do that. And that is the end of Kimi. He's put it in the wall and he is out then of qualifying. So we are 3 down with 8 minutes and 35 to go. Where's his teammate? Right behind him. So Furtherkamp has a full wing, unlike Kimi, who has no front wing and missing a tyre at the front right. But can his teammate make use of that? 3 cars DNF, so a little bit easier now for people to start moving up. That's this track basically in a nutshell. You're going to see a lot of DNFs here today. I wouldn't be surprised if we see 6 or 7 DNFs from just little bits of damage here, there and everywhere, and then frustration as a result of said damage. Yawn still to put in a time in. He's down there in 17th. He just needs to get a time. He'll gain 2 places with whatever he gets, but invalidated his first lap, which is not an easy feat on a track like this. And he's coming up to the line now. What's he going to do? What time's he got? And up the line, and P4, so impressive jump then. And just then Fluffy Balls pits at P3, starting on the softs as it stands, and it's not too bad. It's definitely a tactic that you might want to try. Softs to hards, and Meister goes even faster, nearly into the 137s, 38.056 then for Meister. Colin down there in 17th, he's on a fly, he's just coming up to turn 3, so we'll come back to him a little bit later. Let's have a look. Noosa, I suspect, has done a lap and he's limping home. Yep, let's have a look at Beaker. Can he spoil Meister's party? Yellow in sector 1 and 2. Who was that? Oh, Beaker just touching. Giving the wall a little love tap. No damage, but scary nonetheless if you're sat in that seat, just getting so close to some of these walls. All it takes is one mistake, and that is the end of it. As we saw earlier from Kimmy, one mistake at the castle section, and that was that. And then he ended up binning it in the wall. Not down to the front wing's fault. He may have carried a little bit more speed because of it, but he hit that curb at turn 15 a little bit too much, flung himself into the wall, had a little bit too much speed, probably as a result of the front wing. And that was that. Beaker now coming up to the line. Is he going to get pole? No, he's not. 6 minutes left. He's gone a little bit faster. Well, nearly half a second faster. But not fast enough. Where is Colin? He's down there in 17th on the mediums. Expect to see this one jump up. Hopefully to... There we go. I was about to say P4. That's exactly where the mediums should be. If you look at the best tyres that people have done their laps on, you've got the top 3 mediums, then Colin comes in on the... top 3 softs, then Colin in on the mediums, then all the hard runners. So it's looking pretty. And that's how it should be. Yes, we've got a few more people looking to do soft runs. We've got Char and Dow going out on softs. A few more on the mediums as well. Anthony down there in 19th. He's on an outlap. No time on the board just yet. Hopefully we'll see something up from him soon. Fifth Camp is on his way in because he's running in mode 0 with red fuel. Jumbo looks like he's still going. He's down there in 16th. Best of the rest, really, as Anthony still hasn't set a time. Well, he's best of the time setters, but a long way off the pace down there. Obviously having some issues on his flying lap. Hopefully he can find a good couple of seconds. We'll see a split after this corner, and that'll give us a good indication if he doesn't bin it. Good indication of what he's looking at. And he's up then by a second and a half at the moment, so that's good from him. That's going to be a 40, pretty much a 41 dead. So he's going to gain a couple of places, but hopefully he can now gain a bit more time through here, especially if that first lap was running low. This is the place he can pick up a huge amount of time. Can he get into the 40s? Can he get into the low 40s? That's what matters. It's going to be a 41.3. Improves by a second and a half, just doesn't move up, unfortunately. So P16 it is for now. 4 minutes left of the session. Anthony is coming up to P turn 3. Char is out there on the softs. He's going a little bit faster. Needs to find a bit more pace. And needs to find around a second over a lap. He was up by a few thirds, a few hundredths, a few tenths. That's what I'm looking for earlier. And up by a second point, 1.3 seconds. That's a good jump coming from him. This could be P3 and should be P3 as long as these corners work perfectly, as they do. So expect this one to be starting on the second row for now. Obviously you've still got Dow out there on softs. Fluffy Balls is coming out for another run. It's P4, not quite as much as you would have liked, and just missing out then on P3. Fluffy Balls there coming out, as I say, on a fresh set of softs. Busted coming towards the end of his lap. Where is Anthony? I just want to keep an eye on him. See how he's getting on. He's just behind Busted, so let's watch Busted for a little bit longer, then we'll come back to Anthony and watch him over the line, see how he does. Anthony then round that final corner. As he comes up to the line, Busted's coming on a 40.135. All he needs is a tiny improvement, and he's jumped to yawn. He gets a good improvement then at 7 tenths up to P5 as Anthony is coming into the pits. It's not working for him today. He's just not been able to get a time on the board. Languishing down in 19th. He just needs to get a time. Doesn't matter what it is. Get a time and you'll gain 2 places straight up. And he needs to be getting out of the pits relatively soon. It's pretty much a 2-minute outlap here. So we've got a few people on the way. A few people still in the pits. Noosa has just started, so let's have a quick look at him. See how he's getting on in the Renault. As he looks tidy through turn 2 up towards turn 3. This is where a few lockups happen into this corner because they're just it's almost quite blind. You got nothing really to distinguish it. Red barriers on both sides. It can catch you a bit by surprise if you're not paying too much attention. As we go up towards the turn 7 in this lovely castle section, forget the camera angle that we love, well I love, it looks great, and it's the one on the wall and we're not going to get it. Unfortunately, I've just flicked the wrong way. There is a great camera angle through Castle if it happens. It's on the wall on the right hand side and it watches them come up and then flicks over and watches them go through. If that happens, it is great to see. I think that camera is on par with the helicopter camera in this game. It just looks so good. If you can get a feel for how the cars are going through, it just makes it even better. Notice then coming up to the final few kind of official corners. They are turns. They're not really corners. There's no braking involved. He's getting a little tow as well. That's going to be really beneficial. That's his teammate out there in front, giving him a tow. Could this really help Noosa here? He's got a good tow. Busted backs off because he has to go in the pits. Noosa coming up to the line. Has that helped? That's put in P7. Charles put it P4 and has retired. Noosa's just outshot the corner. And we probably retiring now because there's not much point keep going. Yawn is coming up towards turn 3, so we'll come back to him. Atomic is out there as well. Let's see what the front runners are doing. The guys on the softs, the guys to keep your eyes on. Anthony's not come out, so he's going to be starting P19. Real shame for him. He's not even going to get a time on the ball. Fluffy Balls comes across the line. 7 seconds down, so he obviously invalidated. He's got one chance left. I just saw a car coming out of the pits. That's not very smart, but just around that corner. Where's Beaker? He's a bit further ahead, coming through turn 4. Meister is coming up to turn 5, so a little bit ahead. Let's look further down. Let's see people coming up to the finish. Who have we got? Yawn's on his way, languishing down in 9th. Not too good from him so far. Dan Verdan, I call him Dan Verdan because there's another league that I have another Dan in, and Dan Vidi Ven, I just call him Dan Verdan. It just works for me, okay? Tommy coming out to the line, he's getting a little bit of tow as well. That's going to help him a little bit. Can he get into the top 10 with it? It's Doctor in front of him, giving that tow. Doctor pulls into the pits. Atomic now coming up to the line. P6. Great lap from him. Who's coming up next? Yawn. Can he get this? He needs to get this up high. P4. That is what the Doctor ordered. And Doctor will be very happy with that, that's for sure. Start ball with Livid. As he's coming up to the line. Where are our current leaders? Oh, our current leaders come up. Let's follow. It's Mason's going to be first. Is it going to be an improvement? It is an improvement. He's into the 37.6. Beaker's off the pace by the looks of things. He's very much off the pace. Down 2.8 seconds. Livid jumps up to P3. Great lap from him. A few more laps coming in further down. Noosa is on his way. Where is Colin? He's on his way as well. The last two guys then. Colin's going to be the next one up. Currently P11. He's in mode 0, so he's not actually going to do anything. He's already gone slower. Noosa is in mode 0 as well. So that is it. Meister taking a very, very comfortable pole position in the end. I mean, just look at that gap. It's half a second on the nose ahead of Beaker. It's not even close. It's not even close. He's just in a completely different world in this game. And it's looking good then for the Red Bull man. So there you go. Confirmation. Meister taking the pole by half a second. Beaker's half a second ahead of Livid as well. Those soft runners, they've got to make those work for them. Hopefully they can eke them out for enough laps to make it viable for a one-stop onto the hards. Livid third, Fluffy Balls also on softs in fourth, followed by Yawn. Decent qualifying from him in the end. Second of the medium runners. Charifin down there in sixth on the softs as well, followed by JC, Dan Verdan, Busted, Atomic, Colin, Feathercap, Noosa, Dow, Dr. Jumboy, Kimi, Nathan, Anthony, and Esbita, or Dennis, as he gets called. And there we go. So, interesting qualifying session. Few having some issues. Hopefully they're going to sort those issues out, get into this race, and get some points. How to get points in Baku? Finish the race. That's the first thing you've got to do. Well, first thing you've got to do is finish the race. Second thing you've got to do is don't have damage. Probably don't have damage should be above finish the race because It's that important. If you can get to the line without having to take extra pit stops, you've got a great chance here today of getting some points. And that's what the drivers have got to do. They've just got to drive carefully, but not too carefully they're slow. Because there's careful and then there's slow. If they're driving slow, then they'll get overtaken by people who've pitted 3 times for an extra wing. They've got to just go at a decent pace, don't get damage, stay away from the walls, and at some point, stay away from other drivers. And weather here is looking a bit on the cloudy side, but quite good nonetheless. Is that... no. So, Meister will be leading us off. Grid as it was earlier. Furthercamp is he there? It's not often we see a 0 time. Oh, he's already been disqualified. He's back on the grid. Not the best way to start your formation lap, along with Atomic. And they'll be starting then. They're still on the grid. They've not really been disqualified. The only problem they have is their temperatures get frozen to what they were at the point of the effective disqualification from the formation lap. Whether or not that's ridiculously hot, whether or not it's ridiculously cold, it doesn't matter. That is what it is. They're going to have to deal with it come turn 1. Hopefully they deal with it pretty darn well, because they are right in the midfield. The last thing we're going to want to see is a person locking up big time into turn 1 on lap 1, hitting several drivers. I mean, it's great to watch, but it could ruin a race if you take out a challenge to Meister. And who is the challenge to Meister here today? That is the big question. Let's have a quick look at tyres outside top 10 while I'm babbling on. It's a mix of mediums and hards. Mediums will be doing mediums to hards. Hards can actually go, if they can make them last, they can go really deep and change onto the softs. It's just making them last and not crashing in that time. The people on the softs have that advantage of, if they hit the wall early on, that's not too bad, because they're going to be stopping in 4, 5 or 6 laps, maybe 7. That's not the end of the world. If you're starting on the hards, you hit the wall, then you've got to do another stop after that anyway, and you might not want to go the whole way to that stop with front wing damage. But enough chatting absolute rubbish as per usual. We're just waiting for the drivers to take out the positions. Dennis, is a little bit off the pace actually, as he's now starting to close up onto the back of Anthony. Hopefully he's not going to be met with a car around the corner. He's not. But he's now closing up the gap to the rest of the pack. He's going to be the last man on the grid. He's going for the first challenge. He's just got to make it through turn 1 without anything happening. As I said earlier, that is half the battle of Baku, is not hitting the walls. The other half's not hitting the other drivers, but that should be common knowledge. It's just avoid all the damage. Even if you have to be slow off the line, just be slow off the line so you can get into the first corner without having anyone in your way. I'm talking of in your way. The lights are in our way, and they'll be going out shortly. 5 red lights. They're off, and we're off then for the Dutch racing competition here at Baku. And everyone gets away cleanly so far. Looks like Beaker's trying to go down the inside. Haas and Toro Rosso going side by side. There's a few others going side by side. No incidents then in the first corner. And Nathan dropping down. Dennis gaining 2 places. Oh, cleanly through second. No, we're not cleanly through second. And that is a Renault facing the wrong way. Who's that? That's Noosa. And that is some front wing damage for several cars there. No virtual safety car deployed as a result. They're still going 3 wide in the midfield as well. Doctor trying to make moves. And that is... oh, that's a dive in a bit there from Busted. He's the one that's connected with his teammate. A 5-second penalty there for Doctor for ignoring yellow flag. As we are struggling to get through some of these corners. Let's go on board with Busted as he's battling with Anthony. Anthony's trying to go around the outside. He's got to leave him a little bit of space. So he's going to come through the inside. Ooh, nearly. Busted with front wing damage is not doing too well out there. He's going to potentially lose another place. Liver's retired already. He's dropped out from P3. Is that is here? That we've got a little bit of... okay. This is not looking good. Fluffy Balls is spun as well. Fortunately, we have ghosting. And Livid is dropping, but how many people have just picked up front wing damage? My guess is pretty much everyone of that, because people weren't expecting a car to be stopped in the middle of the track. Oh, Busted, unable to control it around Baby Ping Pong. He is out. and 5. Oh, Dennis got a penalty for collision with Buster. Buster was out of the race at that point. But right, virtual safety car has been deployed. So let's have a quick look. I'm trying to get to the screen I want to see. Position changes. There we go. That's what I want to see. Where is Mason? He's just passed. So who is going to be coming in? Let's have a look. Dan Verdan is he going to come in? Char looking like he's coming in. Well, we've had a chaotic start. 2 DNFs, 1 at Castle, and a host. When I say a host, I mean a hell of a lot of front wing damage. Look at those pit stops. Let's have a look at the pit stop charts. I don't normally look at this one, but it's funny to look at sometimes. Look at that list. It's got 8 drivers not to have pitted, if you exclude the 2 DNFers. That's what I'm saying about this race. You just got to survive sometimes. Don't get damage. These guys are now going to be 20 seconds off the pace, and most of them are going to be pitting again later on in the race. Some of them are going to take hards and try and go to the end. That's probably the safest thing to do at this point. Let's have a look at position changes. There we go. Look at Nathan climbing up 11 places. 9 places for Kimmy, 7 places for Noosa. Such is the start of this race. Everyone is all over the place. Let's try and find a battle though. Yawn. I got baited in by the counter being out. Counters update themselves at the end of the second lap, so coming up shortly. The intervals do. So we're a little bit at a guess right now of who's close to who. I mean, if it was early race, it would be a little bit easier, but it is still early race. If there hadn't been an incident, it would be a bit easier. But let's stay on board with Atomic as he's on the rear of Evercamp. This is battling for the last of the points positions. He's right there on the rear. He got a good drive off. Not normally an overtaking opportunity through here, and he's had to back off. But you can never know. You might be able to send one down the inside here if you get close enough. Meister going fast as now our times are starting to be updated. So Meister with a 1.1 second lead over Beaker. Just Chilling is there as well. 4.7 seconds off the pace. Yawn actually goes fastest. He's not too far back at Just Chilling. Dan Verdan in 5th. Noosa in 6th. 5 seconds off the back. Atomic looking to make moves here on Feathercamp. He's got the slipstream. Got the inside of that little kink. Now, has he got the pace? He looks good. Can we get a decent camera angle to see it? No, we can't. We'll use that one actually because you can see him disappear into the distance. Feathercamp drops into the slipstream and has a little look down the inside but just doesn't go for it. Atomic up to P10. So there we go. You can now start to see those times being updated on the left hand side of the screen. Dennis had gained places but he's now back down to 18th. Has he had another incident? I would have expected to see him across the line by now. Has he had another incident? I think he might have. Yes, he has. That's no front wing then on that Alpha. I think we might see Dennis chuck this one into the garage and go, I'm going to bed, guys. Good night. Fluffy is relatively close to Anthony. He's got a bit of DRS going up the second straight towards turn 3. He might fancy a little dive here, but Beaker's got it right at the back of Mason. Is Mason making a little mistake? See? He's still there with full front wing from my point of view. Beaker though, right on the rear of our race leader. Could we see an overtake? Beaker's got to link this all together pretty darn well, and so is Meister. Beaker's done what he had to do. Now he's going to get the slipstream, and the DRS is coming in a second. He's in mode 4. Can we get a decent camera angle, please, game? Can we? Knows the answer. Beaker's through into the lead. There's the camera angle we're after. Beaker with the fastest lap up into the lead. And now he can try and start putting away, although Meister will get a bit of DRS of his own to try and make a move back at him. He's in that slipstream, he's in that DRS. Beaker got a decent drive off the corner. Well, Meister, go for it. He's looking, he's closing, he's looking down the inside. Is he going to make it? He's late. Contact. And Meister needs to either get this or back off. Side by side still, and Meister is through. A little bit of argy-bargy. Got the elbows out, pushed his way through, up, back into the lead. Goes Meister as we got a battle further on between Yuan and Just Chin for the other podium's position. This is 3rd and 4th. Feathercamp and Dow swapping places back there in 11th and 12th. Charles starting to put up onto the back of Atomic. Let's have a quick look at tyres. It's a little bit of all over the place really, in all honesty now. After over half the grid pitted on the opening lap. Dennis has pitted twice already. We're only on lap 4. He's going to go hards, and hopefully for his sake he can get those hards to the end and just try and get some points back. It's not going to be easy though for Dennis, but all you need to do is just be in the right place at the right time. Yellow in sector 1. That is that. Oh, I've gone the wrong way. Anthony, it looks like he's just dropping places. And there's another car. That's Fluffy Balls there on the side. Is that a little bit of contact between those two? Full front wing at the moment for Anthony. What about Fluffy Balls? No, that's not a full front wing. That's definitely left end plate damage. Oh, he's definitely got damage. Yeah, that's left end plate and a few elements, and right end plate missing there for Fluffy Balls. He's going to be struggling everywhere. We might see another DNF there. Let's look up to Dow. He's on the rear of Vivercamp as Yawn JC swapping places. Get there quick. Oh, Yawn trying. Yawn's going to have DRS here. Let's stay with this battle for third place. Yawn's got DRS. Just chilling, has to defend here. Yawn is going to be making moves. Looking to go around the outside. Is there even room there? There's not. And he's not going for it. He sits back for now into P4. Let's have a look back at Feathercamp and Dow. Feathercamp's still there in P12, but right on the back end of Dow. Dow's on these soft tyres. They're going to start to feel not great any moment. But if you can't get the drive off the corner, you can't get the position off the guy in front of you. And Feathercamp just made a little mistake coming off it. He's looking, but he knows he best not at this stage. Dow a little bit sideways coming off the corner. So, still, this is one of the closest battles. Still got Beaker and Meister going toe-to-toe for the race lead as they come up towards the end of lap 5. Fluffy Balls is out. That's no real surprise in all honesty. That looks like Ping Pong has claimed a victim, or the pit straight has at least. Oh, Meister, I thought he was going to hit the wall. It's most likely around about pit lane entry time. Virtual safety car deployed once again. Now, where is Beaker and Mason? Mason and Beaker that are right there. This is the time. Are they going to come in for the early pit stop under the virtual safety car? It looks like they are. They're going to take advantage of this. Don't hit each other. Don't think I have to say that, but they got close. Neither of them getting penalties. Now it's down to the pit stop crew. It should be an easy one for Mason to take back. He's definitely come out on the hards. As Yawn and Just Chilling go through. DRS re-enabled. Battle now for the lead is on between Meister and Yawn. DRS then for Yawn. Where is the effective race leaders coming out? They are coming out in a nice bit of gap actually. They've got Nathan miles off their pace. And Noosa's just a bit ahead, but once you get past Noosa, there's a nice gap between Noosa and Dan Vadan. It's just getting up to the back end of the Renault. He's looking good at the moment. He's on those mediums, 5 laps in. And hopefully he can keep going. If he can hold up these guys for a little bit, then who knows what's going to happen for the current race leaders. As Atomic gets past Kimi, up to P8 he goes. Atomic on those softs, they're going to start to feel a little bit old sometime soon. But that virtual car worked wonders for Meister and Beaker, getting effectively a cheap pit stop. It's only a few seconds cheaper, but every second counts. And this is Formula 1. A second is a very long time in Formula 1. And it's when you start getting to the tenths, that's when it starts to feel not so long. Dow's on the back of Char. It is sister team versus sister team, but I feel there will be no team orders involved here, as Dow in the Toro Rosso up against the big sister of Red Bull. Dow's closing in nicely. Is he going to fancy a little dive? No, he knows that's not the place. It's not impossible to make a dive into that corner, but you need the guy you're overtaking to be aware that you're going to go for it. As Yawn Just Chilling swap places out front once again. Yawn holding the lead. Just Chilling now going to be trying to come back at him. So much action going on. I keep missing it. Noosa has lost places out to Meister. Beaker's really dropped off the pace there. He's 3 seconds off the back of Meister. He came out 1.5 seconds off the back. It's dropped back in further as Kimi comes in. Let's have a look. Where's Dow and Char? They are still... well, it was Dow and Char. Now it is Dow and Feathercamp. Charaffin's lost a couple of places then. Obviously made a mistake somewhere. As Dennis, 3-second penalty was named. That's not what he wanted down there in 17th place. Feathercamp not close enough to make a move, and we'll sit in for a little bit as we start to get into the midfield section. This is, I mean, it's not out of the realms of possibility of making overtakes here, but you've got to be really good. You've got to get the perfect drive off corner and hope your opponent makes a mistake if you want a realistic chance of making an overtake. As Charm made a little bit of wobble come there. He's still got that end plate. Yes, he has. No damage there on the Mercedes, which is good to see. Let's have a look somewhere else. I'm just trying to find a gap that's close, and this is the closest gap. Noosa is still hovering around the back end of Meister, but now outside the DRS zone, he'll start to fall back as those hard tyres starting to warm up now on Meister. Beaker needs to find some pace. He's starting to fall back. Well, not fall back, but he just not fall forwards. And if he's not any quicker, he's going to lose out potentially to Yon Just Chilling. When they come in, they'll be coming in probably in the next 5-6 laps or so, and then going on to the hards themselves. But they'll have a longer run, shorter run, sorry, on the hards, which means they can have a little bit more life. Feathercamp in DRS zone. Is he going to be close enough? He's only in mode 1. He doesn't. Oh, maybe he will. I was going to say he doesn't fancy it, but he does. He has a look. Now, if he was in mode 4, he might have had that. But he knows he has another DRS straight here. He's got the DRS now. And now's the time to go for it. Shifting up mode 3. Is he going to go mode 4? The answer to that is no. Let's look at Dow's ERS. It is 33 compared to Feathercamp's 56. He's got the ERS. He just needs to deploy it. And if you deploy it at the right time, you're going to get those overtakes. So Char making a pit stop now down to 16th place. Fresh hards, that should do him to the end. And particularly we have any more virtual safety cars. We've had 2 so far in 8 laps. And Dennis, I'm not sure what's going on with Dennis. He's just fallen off the face of the earth in this race. Has he picked up more damage? Let's stay with this battle. Let's have a look at Dennis in a moment. See how he's getting on back there. He's 17th at the moment, but if a few more people DNF, then he can get a few more. Oh, that's what happens. You hit that wall, not the wall, the curb a little bit too hard. Dow front wing damage. This is going to be great news for Feathercamp. The problem is he's now going to pass him here and not get DRS on the home straight and potentially be passed back. Dow though is now inside his pit windows, just nearly hitting that wall. Just Chilling is come in. He's come out behind Beaker, fortunately for Beaker's sake. He's come out on hards. And Dow is trying to make the move back. He hasn't got much front wing on that car. Why can't we get the good angles? I don't know. There we go. Feathercamp trying to go around the outside, holding him off. He does so far. As we're going into turn 2. More DRS then for Dow. He might not have much front wing, but he does have DRS and slipstream. And no, he doesn't. He's made an even bigger mistake. I'd wonder where he'd gone. He's just outpaced himself, went off at the corner. And I think he's actually picked up even more damage on that car. It looks like he has, actually. And I think those tyres might be a little bit cooked. If you're going to start weaving on old softs, you're not going to do them much good. But he'll be trying to bring this one back to the pits. It is the right time for him to pit, though. So that's not too bad. Just Chilling has come out. He's closing up the gap to Atomic. Atomic on old, very old softs, 7 laps in. That's pretty much their entire life right there. And Just Chilling should, even with cold hard tyres, should be able to pull in Atomic. He just needs to find less than half a second in this last section. He will have DRS on the home straight, even if Atomic decides to put it in the pits. And it's looking like he's going to get it. Just off at the moment, but now as we come through Ping and Pong, turn 17, 18 and 19. And has he got... He's not actually close enough. Dow has retired. There's no real surprise there in all honesty. No front wing. And that... Ooh, that is a big crash. And that is Dow out of the race. Big off into turn 15. No virtual safety car. As Atomic is in the pits, Dennis is in the pits once again. Has he had more front wing damage? How many pit stops is that now for Dennis? He's now behind Just Chilling already. Dow's left the session. Let's have a look. Pit stops, that's his third stop already. 4 cars still to stop. Front 3 and Nathan in P6. As Just Chilling is starting to close up. Nathan's going to go long into this race. He's on 9-lap old hards. What will he do? Let's have a look at him. See how he's getting on those hards. Can he make these last till he can get on the softs? Gonna need to get as close to lap 20 as possible if you're going to go for softs. But if you don't think you're going to go for it, you're going to need to stop probably around lap 16, maybe 18 to get a decent run out of those mediums. That's what it's going to come down to. Sometimes it's not worth trying to push the tyres a little bit longer. If they suddenly fall off the cliff and you end up having to put mediums on, you're just not going to get a good enough use out of them. But we'll see. He's still in the race. He's still in 16th place. He's going to drop down when he pits, but should potentially come back and get some points, particularly if he's going to put on nice grippy tyres at the end. Speaking of grippy tyres, Yawn says, my tyres don't have any grip. I want new ones, please. He comes in. Fresh hards for him. Where is he coming out in relation to Justin? Justin is coming down the home straight. A little bit of a tow from Nathan, which is going to help him as we come up to the turn 1. Where is Yawn? Yawn looks like he's out already. And he's well ahead then of Just Chilling. They were relatively close when they came in. Is that really an 8-second lead for Yawn? That is. That's a huge lead. I was expecting Yawn to be around Just Chilling level, but that is a monster few laps from Yawn to come out on the rear Meister. Meister, actually, what's happened to Meister? Meister was leading this race, effectively. Now Beaker is. He's got all his front wing. He must have had an issue somewhere. I didn't see it. But as it stands, Beaker is effective race leader because Dan and Noosa still to pit. They're in first and third. Noosa is getting hunted down. And Meister gives that wall a good kiss. Is that? I don't think he's picked up any damage, but he's not happy. Something is definitely wrong in that car. Has he just cooked these tyres already? He's all over the place. He's getting pressured though by his championship rival. Great camera angle that is. Do love the helicopter cam. It's going to be DRS from Yawn as Dan pits. Mace's got DRS on Noosa in front. Noosa's also got it on Beaker. The train is coming. A choo-choo. Dan is in. He's going to go for hard tyres, so he'll come out on the back. Noosa runs deep. He's got it back on, but is he going to be ahead of Meister? It's going to be alongside as you go into turn 2. This is going to be good for Yawn. If you can take advantage of this, he can get past. He's got DRS. He needs to just slip back in. Now he's getting past Noosa. That's good moves there for Yawn. He's moving up to P3. Mesa, I've heard, had a little issue and ran wide. Made a bit of a mistake. No damage though apparently on Mester's car. Well, he's driving like he does have a bit of damage. Just clipping, just touching walls every now and again. Not what you want to do. Particularly when the walls are right there. Right, I want to stay with this battle, but I kind of want to look elsewhere. But it's looking like Jumbo and Colin might be coming out close together. Kimmy is relatively close to the Doctor. Let's have a look at Jumbo and... oh, look at that, right behind each other. I want to stay with this, but I really want to keep my eyes on the front battle. I wish I had 2 screens that I could play the game on at twice and just swap back and forth. Have in-screen, box-in-box. That would be wonderful, wouldn't it? Have box-in-box action. But Jumbo coming out of the pits, both on hards with Colin. Just not closing up there. He's got to get. They both got to get his tyres up to temperature. And the one to do it first could hold on to their place or take the place off the other guy. Let's have a look up front as we come onto the home straight. Meister 6/10, 7/10 off Beaker. Yawn the same off Meister. But Yawn is on really fresh hard tyres. Beaker and Meister took advantage of the virtual safety car to pit quite early on. is this going to work out well for Jorn? As these tyres are just going to have a little bit more life in them come the end of the race. As Noosa says that's enough for his tyres, pits, and he'll be changing on to the hards. Nathan is still to pit. He's doing alright. He's there in 6th. Feathercamp as well, going to likely to pit again. He might try and take those to the end though. But Jorn still there on the back of this battle for the lead. Just needs to stay there, pick up the pieces. When I say pick up the pieces, I don't mean pick up someone's front wing when they put it in the wall or in the back of the other guy. Let's stay though with Mesa in the middle of this sandwich. Jorn and Beaker. Beaker's being hunted down by the Shazoo boys. Are they going to take him? These two had a great battle in the opening couple of races. Mesa winning that from Jorn both times. Jorn outdoing him last week as Mesa had some issues. But who is going to take the win here today? Mesa's looking a little bit closer to Jorn than Mesa is the Beaker. As we're coming up towards the home straight, Mesa's just getting some clean air. It almost looks like they're trying to make moves, but they're not. They're just trying to pull out of the dirty air, cool the car down a little bit. It's particularly going to be a problem for Jorn as this battle goes on. He's stuck right behind 2 cars. He's going to be getting a huge amount of dirty air. He's going to just heat up everything. Brakes, you don't want to be too hot. You want them to be warm, but not too hot. Engine, you don't want to be too hot, that's for sure. But Meister looking to make moves on Beaker. Beaker can't really do much about this at this point. Can he do anything about Jorn behind? Jorn's not coming through. Beaker slots back into P2. Jorn is trying to come through. Beaker might just lose 2 here. Jorn is down the inside of Beaker. Touching wheel to wheel. Nothing coming of it. Meister takes the lead, but Jorn's right on the back of Beaker. Both with DRS. We go down towards turn 3. Don't expect anyone to make a move. DRS on each pretty much nullifies that at this stage. And let's have a look further back as Jumbo and Colin coming up to the final few corners. They're going to have some DRS action. Kimi is having some DRS action on Doctor actually, so let's look at that one first. That's mediums versus hards. And Doctor's actually coming in the pit, so Kimi's going to take that one with ease. But as Jumbo, he's over 7/10 off the back of Colin. I don't think he's going to have this time around. He might fancy it on the next DRS straight. And he's just sitting in mode 1 for now, just taking it easy, just waiting for his time. Colin, 3-second penalty. Jumbo all over the place coming off that corner. And has that, that's front, could that have been front wing damage? If we can get the camera angle, we can have a look. But Jumbo definitely hit that wall hard on the right hand side. See if we can get, come on camera, change to something useful. I mean, these camera angles are great if you don't need to be looking at anything. No, it looks okay actually. Somehow it might have taken a bit of damage that we can't see. That does happen. We can't see all the damage. We can see a fair bit. And speaking of seeing a fair bit, is Jorn going to see a P2 here? Beaker's trying to defend. They're both with DRS. Jorn pulls out. He's not going to go for it, but they've both closed up to the back of Meister now. As we come straight into the next DRS zone. Can Beaker nail the corner? Can Jorn nail the corner? It's looking alright from both of them. Beaker looks a little bit uneasy. He looked like he touched the wall there. But holds on now for P2. Jorn can't do anything about it just yet. As this battle for the lead could rage on for the vast majority of this race. I kind of hope it does actually. My voice will be dead, but it would be great to see. And Dan Verdan is 4.6 seconds off the back of this. And to be fair, this could all come down to 1 penalty for someone. If Mason picks up a 3-second penalty, that's going to be an absolute nightmare for him. But equally, if either the other guys pick up a penalty, then they're going to struggle to mount the charge. Beaker's dropped off the 1-second window to Mason. This is good news for Jorn. He's all over the back of this Williams. He needs to get past him if he wants to try and get after Mason. Try and get that win. Mason is pulling away 1.6 already ahead of Beaker. And Jorn must be sitting there going, come on Beaker, go faster. I want to get after Mason. As we come round the final corner, final braking related corner of the lap. And let's see, can Jorn do anything about it this time? He's going to have DRS. Beaker will not. Mode 4 already initiated. DRS coming open now. And is Beaker assisting Duck? And the answer to that is quack quack. Yawn is through. Beaker down to P3. He lost a load of time to Mace that last lap. He gained a bit back. But Yawn is now up in P2. But Beaker, DRS from behind, can do anything with this. I don't think he can. He's down into mode 0 already. He's resigned to the fact he's not getting past. And Yawn holds P2 now. He needs to move up onto the back of Mace. He needs to do that relatively soon. As Beaker's sitting behind him with DRS. Going to be pressurising him. Elsewhere, not much to report on, in all honesty. There's a close battle between Dan and Just Chilling. That one's less than 2 seconds. There's Nathan actually come out to the pits right behind Feathercamp. Let's have a look at that. That's DRS. He's on the fresh mediums. He's finally made that pit stop. He's looking good to get some points here today. Feathercamp also on fresh mediums. If they can work together and get up after Atomic, they can get themselves an extra few points. And they got a healthy gap back to Char in 10th, so not too much to worry about there. So Yawn has now closed up into the DRS, and big time DRS. Has Mason made a mistake there? He's just lost so much time. Has he made such a mistake? He's got damage? He does. That's right front end plate damage on Mason's car. This is what Yawn's been waiting for. Maester is just, again, like Beaker was last lap, a complete sitting duck. Through goes Yawn into the race lead. One mistake has cost Maester. Is it going to cost him second place as well? Beaker goes through. Or does he? Sliding off the corner, sliding into Maester. Not much Beaker could do about that. Dan, 5-second penalty for speeding the pit lane. Not good news for him. He's now going to be dropping down the places. Fresh tyres though, fresh hards. Does he have some mediums? Maester looking to come back. A Beaker sends one down the inside. A little bit of contact. Nothing coming of it though. Beaker holds on to P2 for now. And what is Maester going to do? He's not going to bother pitting because Justin is right within the pit window. He'll drop down behind. Well, he's going to drop down a fair distance if he decides he wants to pit. It's going to be a 20-odd second pit stop here. And that is going to put him down between Noosa and Atomic, which is not where he's going to want to be. He's going to have to stay out, keep battling Beaker. Who knows? Maybe Beaker will make a mistake and you'll get a P2 out of it. Meanwhile, Yawn is race leader and sitting very pretty on that race win at the moment. 2.4 seconds clear of Beaker, and that gap is just increasing. We're on lap 17 of 26, not long to go. And all it's going to take, as we saw earlier from Maester, one mistake cost Maester a win. But he can still get P2. That's not gone yet. And this all comes back to what I said at the start of the race. It's going to be so crucial to not get damage. That is how you do well at Baku. Don't get damage. And we saw on the opening lap half the field getting damage. We saw Maester getting damage just a moment ago, last lap round. He's lost the race win. He's lost second place at the moment. And Just Chilling's closing up. Just Chilling is not out of this yet. Maester's going to go slow. Beaker's not exactly pulling away. I don't think Beaker has damage. Doesn't appear to have damage. This isn't out of it for Just Chilling yet. Beaker could be backing up Maester towards JC, knowing that JC can just slide on past him. It's a dangerous game to play. 6 seconds is the gap. We'll keep an eye on that between Maester and Just Chilling. Let's have a look. Dan's come out on some fresh hard tyres down there in 7th. 1.7 seconds off the back of Atomic. He will be fancying catching up to the back of him. Let's have a, while we're in a little lull period, let's have a quick look at the fastest lap, which is done by Dow a very long time ago actually, because he's not been in the race for a while. 42.3, and there's a fair few people in the 42s. No one smashed it, and so we'll see if anyone can beat that towards the end. Potentially see some people coming in for those soft tyres. Obviously top 10 only for that extra point. Let's have a look elsewhere at stops. So Jumboy and Dennis, the two alphas, 3 stops apiece. How many of those were for front wings? I'm going to guess all 6 of them. Elsewhere, Splashing and 2 stoppers, and only a few 1 stoppers. Obviously that opening lap incident costing most people an extra stop, sorry. Overall position changes, Yawn up 4, crucially Maester down 2, Just Chilling so far up 3. As Dan goes past, quite easily past Atomic, not much Atomic can do. Dan now gaining 2, Noose has gained 8 places so far, looking pretty in P8, in P5. Good from him. Nathan up 9 as well, he's done pretty darn well. Looking good to get some points here today. And let's go back to look at the tyre situation. So we looked at it earlier. Just Chilling was 6 seconds off the back of Mason. He's now 4.7. It's starting to come in towards Just Chilling. Can he get a podium here today? I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility. His race engineer will be yelling at him. You're closing in. Maester has damage. Go, go, go. And Mason, crucially for Just Chilling, has now fallen outside that 1 second window to Beaker, which is going to be great news for Just Chilling. Mason's going to struggle in most of these corners just for grip with that front wing damage he has. Yawn is well clear. He's 4 seconds clear in the lead. And let's see, has Mason picked up any more damage? Or is he still that front right? So 4.4 seconds of the gap between Just Chilling and Maester. Maester is now back with inside the 1 second window. Bad news for Just Chilling, good news for Maester. And he'll pull himself up a little bit towards the back end of Beaker. Beaker's, I wouldn't think, too worried at this stage. ERS levels are around the same. Maester just will struggle through some of these corners. And Maester still with that DRS. 0.8 is the gap between him and Beaker. 4.5 is the gap between Just Chilling and Maester. Maester's just taking it easy into some of these corners. He knows that he's not going to have the front grip that the other drivers will have. Atomic's now starting to fall slowly off the back end of Dan. Dan, who's up into P6 now, looking good to get himself some points. And other than the charge, or hopeful charge of Just Chilling, not a huge amount of action on the track right now. It's keeping eyes on people who are doing things. Colin's a good one to keep an eye on. He's just come in for fresh softs. He's unlikely to gain a position on his teammate, but you never know. 6 laps left. Fresh softs versus used hards. He might gain 13th place. He'll be happy with that. Elsewhere, we've got Feathercamp trying to close up into Atomic. Relatively fresh mediums versus oldish hards. Oh, makes it a little bit wobbly coming off that corner as Anthony's pitted, so Colin's going to get that place anyway. So look at that. 4.3 is the gap between Just Chilling and Maester now. It's coming down. Maester no longer with DRS. He's getting a small effect of slipstream from the back of Beaker, but it's not a huge amount. And the gap is coming down. Is it going to come down far enough though for Just Chilling to mount a serious charge? It might be the case of it hits that 1 second on the final lap, and with such a long straight, who knows what can happen. You can get DRS on that final lap and make a move. 3.6 now is coming down like there's no tomorrow. Just Chilling is putting in the pace. Maester can't do anything about it, having to take it easy through some of these corners with that front wing damage. He knows he's got Noosa pretty much covered, but has he done enough to keep Just Chilling at bay? 3.7, 3.5. It's Maester has to take it so carefully through these corners, and I think we are going to see a Just Chilling on the podium here today, barring any little issues or any penalties that one of them may pick up. going to be good. Atomic has turned it back up. It's actually up to the back of Dan. That was over a second gap not that long ago. Atomic closing up to Dan. As Colin goes fastest, down in the 13th. Not going to get the bonus point though, unfortunately. He needs to be in the top 10 to get that, but still, good showing that he's out there getting the fastest lap. 3 seconds just chilling in Maester now. As Atomic is still on the back of Dan. Has Dan made a little mistake? Has he got any damage? No, he looks alright. He's just not had a very good run recently. Maester says that will do. Throws it in the pits. Where is he going to come out then? Noosa, I suspect, will go through. And so at least Maester will have fresh softs. He's realised that this isn't worth continuing, but should he have done this a few laps ago and been able to climb back, Dan's going to come past. It means Atomic's going to come past. He's going to come out a fair distance down. Was this the right call for Maester? He's going to come out behind Atomic, quite literally. Maester's made a call. I mean, he could get up and pass Noosa. He's not out of this yet in terms of that position. He does have to clear these guys pretty much like that as quickly as possible. And now he just gotta stay in between the white lines. Don't pick up any more damage. And he's got a chance of getting P4 back off Noosa. And with that, he might still get the fastest lap. That's another thing that's going for him. It's lap 22 of 26. He's effectively 6 seconds off the back of Noosa. He should pass down with relative ease once they get into the sort of sector 3 section and sector 1. Sector 2 is not the easiest to overtake. This is the technical section. All these winding corners. Then you have these flowing corners. Yellow in sector 2 and 3. Who's put that one in the wall? Sector 3. That could be... Oh, was that a lock-up from Dan? That was a lock-up from Dan. Just wondering who's had an incident. Jump Boy's in the pits. That might have been him. Dan almost trying to give Maester the place. Maester needs to get past as soon as not get held up by Dan. Now he's going to go... Oh, I think they both played a little bit of chicken there. That's given Atomic the place. They both saw the line coming and went, oh no, you go first. And Atomic says, okay, I'll go. I'll take the place, thank you. So Dan losing 2 places there. Atomic, just alert to the situation, took an easy overtake. Dan and Maester were playing chicken, and Dan has played not quite making the corner. That's the game he's played. So he's dropped 1 place down to Feathercamp, and Nathan isn't too far off the back of him. Nathan might fancy an extra few points here if he can catch up to Dan. 2.4 off, not impossible, not going to be easy. Maester is out now, clear of Atomic. Atomic is just over a second behind, but Maester will just, in sector 2 particularly, these corners just where you can get the extra grip off them, start putting away a little bit. Noosa 5.3 seconds up the field. We're on lap 23 or 26. Has Maester taken a risk, and is that risk going to work, or is that risk going to backfire? He needs to catch up to Noosa to make this risk really work for him. Does he have enough time there? That is the question we're going to be asking. I mean, if I had the time to target type thing they have on the official F1 where it says how long they're in the overtaking, that would be really useful, but we don't. We are just going on what we can see. What we can see is 24 of 26 and 4 and a bit seconds off the back for Maester. You can actually just about see in the distance Noosa's car. It's a small speck as he goes through turn 1. Maester, there you go, fastest lap to his name. That's an extra point. But can he get Noosa to get a few more extra points? 4 seconds to the gap. Not long to go if he's going to make this work for him. Yorn, meanwhile, quite happy in the lead. 5 seconds ahead of Beaker. And Beaker's got a 4.7 lead over Just Chilling there in 3rd. So it's going to be a good result for Williams, as they're going to get 2 spots on the podium. Yellow in sector 2. Who's had an off? Dan is in the pits. He's going for it. So that's given Nathan. So that's going to be interesting. Dan's going to... Oh, he's ahead. That's right. So he's guaranteed P10, really. Unless he makes a mistake. He made a mistake last time around. Doesn't this time. 3.5 is gap. Meister to Noosa. It's still coming down. It is a risky ploy from Meister. He was going to lose the place to Just Chilling anyway. That was pretty much a guaranteed. But to lose the place to Noosa was not guaranteed. And now you can see him right there. Has he got enough left? Has he saved up enough fuel for a charge? We're going to find out. 2.8 now is the gap. 2.9 goes up a little bit. What can Meister do? 2.9 still the gap between Noosa and Meister. As elsewhere, not really much gaps. There's a little gaps going on but further back as people are starting to realise there's not much point continuing. Coming in for some softs. Particularly Collins starting to close up to Jumboys. Dennis goes fastest. Gets a position. I think that's the first time he's gone up a place so far today. He's had a nightmare of a race. Crashed that in qualifying through uncalibrated brake pedal. And that was the end of that. Got back in, had several incidents. And he's made 4 stops so far. So have a few others. His teammate, both Alphas and both McLarens have all made 4 stops. But our eyes are firmly fixed on this. Has Meister got what it takes? We're on 25 for 26. We've only got this and one more to go. Meister needs to get in the DRS zone this lap if he wants a chance of making the overtake. Noosa needs to drive the widest car possible. And I think it is going to be a case of Meister's going to take this. 1.5 is the gap. Just needs to gain half a second through this last few corners to get the DRS. Even if he doesn't this lap, he still has the final lap. It's not impossible to make an overtake on the final lap going across the line. It's going to be damn hard though. 0.2 is the gap. He's not going to get DRS here. Yellow in sector 2 again. Is that Collins had a little off? Or Jumbo, because they're both swapped. So 0.2 is still the gap. Now Meister, can he get this corner to work for him? Can he find 2/10 in this one corner? He's done it. He's gained more than 2/10 actually. A decent corner there from Meister. Now inside the DRS. 0.8 is the gap. Sticking it in Mo 4. He's got to burn everything off now. All that fuel. Now the red fuel comes on. That means he's less than a lap left of fuel. He's not going to be too worried about it because now we're getting to the part where he can start saving. And Noosa is just going to try and drive the widest car, but is mostly going to take advantage of Noosa trying to drive defensive. Dan sets the fastest lap down there in P10, so he's on course for an extra point. Meister, Noosa, who's going to be the P4? Meister's just doing a little bit of weaving, trying to put him off. Now we're coming to the part where you won't see an overtake. If you do, it's a crazy man who's going to try it. But coming off here, you can see an overtake here. You don't often see him. We're running out of corners though. This is turn 13 and 14. There's not long to go. Let's have a quick flick up. Yorn's going to come across the line 7 seconds clear of Beaker. It's going to be a 2-3 for Williams. But our eyes now flick back to Meister and Noosa. Meister right there, 0.3. He's got the drive off that he needs. Can he get this overtake done? He's going to be throwing everything and the kitchen sink at Noosa. He's looking good. He's right on the rear. DRS enabled. DRS activating now. P4 for Meister. Noosa can't do anything about it. Meister taking it on the line. Heartbreak for Noosa. He thought he would have had that. Meister taking a great P4 in the end. I doubted him. He made it work. Tomic coming across P6. Good result from him. P7 for Feathercamp. Nathan getting some points on the board in P8. He'll be happy with that. A little bit off the pace, but still, points are points. Char as well. Is he going to get his first points? He's looking good. He hasn't got any points so far this season. This is his race. He's going to lose out to Dan. He won't care. He'll just be happy to score points, and does. P10 for Char. Dox is going to the next man up. 10 seconds off the back of Char. And there he goes. And last but not least, in 12th, as the other 4 drivers being lapped, is going to be a Kimi. And there we go. What a race that was. Action-packed start, that's for sure. Half the grid having to pit on the opening lap. Only Havila DNF, as I was expecting more. I'm very happy you're going to be standing top of that podium, flanked by the 2 Williams drivers. They are going to be very happy as well. Beaker's not had a great season so far, but we're happy to get points here today. But there's only one that's going to be really happy, and that is the man at the top. That is Yawn. Let's have a quick fun rundown then of those positions for you. And there you go, confirmation Yawn taking the win. And not many penalties to be applied to anyone really. But Yawn drove a great race. Beaker second, just sitting third. Meister with that comeback to fourth. Noosa fifth, Atomic sixth, Feathercamp seventh, followed by Nathan, Dan and Char running out your top 10. Doctor in 11th, followed by Kimi, then Jumboy, then Colin, Dennis, Anthony, and DNFs there of Dow, Fluffy, Busted, and Livid. And there we go. Well, I need to go to bed now because my voice is dead. Yeah. I mean, that was an epic race, to say the least. Hopefully next week we're going to be in Spain. Well, I say hopefully we're going to be in Spain. I mean, next week we're going to be in Spain. Hopefully we're going to have just as good race. Spain, not great in the actual F1, but in esports can be a great race, particularly those opening corners. We're going to see a lot of action into there. But yeah, so join us there for that one. That is at 8 o'clock European time, 7 o'clock UK time. Until then, I bid you fun farewell. Goodbye.